Hi, my name is Tommy Kelly. Hi guys, and welcome back to Q&A Friday. I should hopefully get through all these questions today, and thanks very much again. Just remember to leave your comments and questions below for next week on this video so I can find them much easier. The first question is from Emily Wary. What is my opinion on raising kids vegan? Well, I say you see a lot of people do it right and a lot of people do it wrong. I see a lot going on in Italy, with Italy banning obviously people raising their kids vegan. But when you see people like the vegan geezer, he brings up his little kid Jojo fully vegan and they let him make his own choices and things, and they do it absolutely right. Basically you've got to educate yourself enough. If you're somebody that's new to veganism yourself, the last thing you want to be doing is pushing veganism onto your kid. If you do the right education, learn about it through proper feedback like nutrition.org and things like that. Go on there, learn enough, you can raise your kid vegan properly and do it the right way. A lot of people do it, but for me, myself, I wouldn't actually bring up my kid vegan, even though I am vegan myself. What I would do is I would give them all the choices, let them know about the good parts and the bad parts about being vegan, and the good parts and the bad parts about being an omnivore, eating a meat eater, and let them make their choices, because I feel that's the best way. I mean, my parents never pushed any beliefs onto me, and they just educated me and let me do what I wanted and make my own decisions, and that's what I would do. But I do feel, yeah, if you do raise your kids vegan and you do it properly and learn the everything about it, get all the knowledge in the right place, you can thoroughly raise your kid vegan and be very, very healthy. But it's about learning enough and getting a good enough knowledge, and that's what it's all about. Like I say, a lot of people do it properly, a lot of people do it wrongly, so it's got a double-edged sword. Thanks very much for that, Emily. The next one is from Educating Shani. What's my dream vacation? Oh well, that's easy. I would love to come to the USA and meet up with you, and also I would love to go to Australia again. I've got a lot of friends over there, obviously Jessica, Australia. I would love to meet up with her, and that'd be my two dream destinations, USA and Australia. But obviously as well, I'm going to Vienna in January or February time to meet up with friends there as well. So I've really always wanted to go to kind of Vienna, Austria, Germany, things like that. So that's an absolutely great question. And you're also asking, can my wife come on camera and speak sometime? Hopefully she will. She's very, very camera shy and things like that, but I'll try and get her on as much as I possibly can, and we'll do a wee bit of speaking and let you know about things that she likes and things like that as well. So thanks very much, Shannon. I love you so much. The next question is from Susan Mencher. She says, I'm such a busy person. Do I ever take any time to just do nothing and sit in peace and quiet? Or is doing nothing an opening for my eating disorder to start talking in my ear? Yeah, I'm very busy. We obviously try to get out videos and things like that, and I don't get an awful great lot of time to do things and that, which really kind of, in a way, kind of upsets me, because I like to try and get as much time as I can to spend with my wife and things like that. But we do as much as we possibly can. Obviously, my wife doesn't keep well. We've got hospital appointments and things like that. But I don't know. Really, a lot of people say that if they're actually sitting and not doing enough, that the eating disorder starts to take over. I feel some ways that I always keep myself busy anyway. I watch TV, I do art, I read books, I'm always on the internet, I learn a lot, I do things like reading the Bible and that. I'm really into knowledge and things like looking into space aviation and things like that, UFOs, everything. I'm always learning stuff. I always like to learn. We learn every day, so I'm always keeping my mind busy. So I don't know. I do feel that when I didn't before and keep my mind busy, that the eating disorder really was getting in my ear and taking over. So I feel that possibly could be an issue that would happen, and it does happen to a lot of people. So that's a great question, Susan, and thanks very much for that. The next one is from Vegan Scrumpy Maria. What did you used to believe about yourself that you now have learned it's not to be true? Well, I used to believe I was hopeless and I was not worthy of life, and I hated myself. I really did. I've never hated anybody. Like I say, I love everybody and I love to make friends and try to do as much as I can. But the only person I used to hate was the person in the mirror, and I used to think that I wasn't worthy of life because I blamed myself for my mum's passing because she gave birth to me and obviously lived with cancer. So I used to blame myself for that, and I used to think to myself, did I not do enough for looking after my dad because had my eating disorder at times and things like that. But I know I did a hell of a lot for them, and I know that that was my mum's wish to have me, and I don't blame myself anymore. And I'm beginning to really like myself again, and gradually I will love myself. But that's one thing I've got over it, believing that I wasn't worthy of having a life. So that's an absolutely great question. Thanks very much for that. The next one is from Scatterlamass. What are your thoughts on self-diagnosis? Like if a person knows they are ill and do lots of research and come to a conclusion that what it is, do I think it's possible, and is it a positive or a negative? Yeah, I do believe in self-diagnosis. If you've got all the signs and you've got the symptoms of an illness and you look into things and you think you've got an illness, but I would say do not self-medicate. Get all your information of your illness, take it to your GP and let them do the work for them. I believe in self-diagnosis definitely, but I don't believe in self-medicating. At the end of the day, if you've got all the symptoms and the signs of an illness such as diabetes and things like that, like you've got diabetics, obviously it's quite a lot, get this kind of sweet smell about them. That's a sign of being diabetic, running back into the toilet quite a lot, kind of cravings of sugar and things like that. That's a sign of diabetic. Obviously as well, cancer, if you've got things like lumps and things like that, and you think that this is a cancerous lump, do your self-diagnosis, look into all the kind of studies about what it is, get to your GP right away, let them deal with it. I do believe in self-diagnosis, because like I say, look into things. If you feel you've got an illness, it's important you look into it. Like my grandfather, he had, at one point he had a lot of shaking in his hands and things like that, and he was getting gradual memory loss and things. He thought he had Parkinson's disease, and he looked into it, and actually he did have Parkinson's disease. So that's a good thing. If you look up a lot of feedback on like the internet, Reader's Digest books that show a lot of health issues and things like that, if you do that and you think you've got an illness, get to your GP right away, let them deal with the medication side of that and taking the investigations further. But like I say, self-diagnosis, yes, but self-medicating, no. That is an absolutely great question. Thanks very much for that. The next and last one is from David Ulmer. How do I deal with comments on my appearance when out in society? He says he's been 20 pounds underweight with anorexia, and people would say, when he got to a healthy weight, would say, oh, you're looking great for gaining weight, or you look great, keep it up. He says he didn't understand that he had an eating disorder, and that was the last thing that he wanted to hear, as it always made him relapse. Even though they meant well, like he says, I know that I'd be at a healthy weight if it wasn't for those kind of comments. So basically he's saying that he would be at a healthy weight if they weren't saying these things. Yeah, I do agree with that, because when a lot of people think they're doing well, they're saying, oh, you look healthy, or you're looking a lot great and things like that. Your eating disorder latches on and it makes you think that this means that you're fat and things like that. So like I always say, don't comment on people's appearance and things like that. Say something like, oh, you're looking alive, or well done for your achievements and things that you've done lately. Your eyes look glowing, you look as if you're living life to the full. Say things like that. Don't concentrate on body image and things like that, because this is the last thing the eating disorder person wants to hear, and the eating disorder will latch onto that, and it will take any way to morph itself and get back into your life. The way I deal with it, I just try to think, well, they mean the best, and sometimes, like I say, I've had negative comments like, oh, it's great to see you've got those chubby cheeks and things like that again, great to see fat on your bones and things like that. My eating disorder was raging at this point, because I thought to myself, does this mean I'm fat? But I've got to the point now, as I start to nourish myself, and because obviously when you're in a restrictive background and your body's starved, you've obviously got a starved brain, but as you start to feed yourself, you realise they are meaning well. Sometimes I say it in the wrong context, but I try to just take myself away from that and say, I know what I'm doing is best for my health, and whether I'm fat or not, I know I'm not fat. My eating disorder can tell me otherwise, and they can think otherwise, but at the end of the day, I'm not defined by my body or my weight, and it doesn't matter if I'm fat, thin, whatever, as long as I'm healthy. And that is the most important thing, and that's what I would really like to say about that, is just realise that what you're doing is best for your health. Get yourself into a healthy place. You're not defined by a number on a scale, so don't let anybody say that. Thanks very much for that, David, and I really, really appreciate that. Like I say, guys, comment below with your questions for next week, and I hope to speak to you all soon. And remember what this wee guy at the end of the video says, he means it as well. Hi guys, sorry, I've actually just got another 2 questions that just come in at the last moment, so I'm just going to answer them. The next one is from Miss Quiet Girl. She asks, she's not sure if somebody's asked this question before. She's heard that there's a link between the personality trait of being a perfectionist and having an eating disorder. What do you think of this, and why do you see it's true or not true? Yeah, I do much feel that really that is a very much linked to eating disorders, because I feel that being a perfectionist, we like to get everything absolutely what we ideally as perfect. And as somebody with an eating disorder, you feel that you've got to do everything absolutely by the book. You've got to be the perfectionist. You've got to get the perfection in its body. You've got to work out so often. If you miss the gym, you get all upset. You start getting angry. You get irritable. You want to be perfectionist in everything. There's a correlation between obsessive compulsive disorder and obviously eating disorders, because basically you want to do everything at a certain time, you want everything to be perfect, everything sitting out and things like that, or for the next day, you want to be doing everything at a certain time. Even with eating disorders, you find that you do things like you'll need to eat the same foods quite often, you'll need to use the same utensils quite often, cutlery, plates, things like that. You've got to have your food sitting out in a plate in a certain way. You can't mix food in with each other. So say things like you were maybe having say some type of mince or something, or meat, you wouldn't add that, mix it in with your vegetables or mix it in with your potatoes or things like that. And you do things like you would squirt a lot of ketchup or any kind of condiment all over your food, because you've got to do that. It's a compulsion. So there's a very much a correlation between being a perfectionist and having an eating disorder. Like I say, you always feel you've got to strive to get to this so-called perfect body image that you think society deems you to be, and there's no such thing. So that's an absolutely great question, Miss Quiet Girl. Thanks very much for that. The last one is from Haley Uha Zigga Zigga. She actually sent me this on Facebook. Do you think it is expensive following your vegan food plan? It can be expensive, but like I say, any diet can be as expensive or as cheap as you make it. You can thrive in a vegan lifestyle with getting beans, seeds, legumes, your plant milks, things like that. A lot of the good supermarkets like Lidl and Aldi in the UK, you can get your peanut butters, you can get your rice, your pasta, potatoes, all your vegetables, very cheap. These are all staples that you can have in your vegan lifestyle that will give you all the nutrition you need. Like I say, your nuts, your seeds, your legumes, things like that. But any lifestyle can be as expensive as you want it to be. If you're shopping at, say, Marks and Spencer's and things in the UK, your vegan lifestyle can be absolutely extortionate. Obviously for myself at the moment, I'm having to get a lot of higher calorie foods, which means things like vegan chocolate and vegan cakes and things like that. So that can be expensive, because vegan chocolate in the UK is about £4 a bar and things. So like I say, it can be expensive, but at the end of the day, it's as expensive or inexpensive as you try to make it, obviously to tailor to your diet. But for me at the moment, it is quite expensive, yes, definitely. Number 2, does your wife have the same food you do, or does she eat separately? Well, like I say, my wife isn't vegan, obviously, because she's had ovarian cancer in the past, and she's prevented by our recovery team and things. So we do have separate meals, but we do eat together. So like I say, we don't want to end up differentiating each other, having meals away from each other, because that's when my eating disorder would likely take off and I would start doing things and getting into bad behaviours. You want to get a good relationship with your food. spending it with the people you love and enjoying it. So that's an absolutely great question. She also says, P.S. You're a real inspiration. I can see that you're recovering in a really positive way and love your slogans at the end. Oh, thanks very much, Hayley. I really appreciate that, and I can't thank you enough, and I'm here for you always, and I send you all my love. Speak to you soon, guys, and this is all for this week. And remember, binge on life, purge negativity, and starve guilty feelings. Remember, guys, binge on life, purge negativity, and starve guilty feelings. Speak to you all soon, and love you so much.